it's Diana from Wrap Your Baby. I'm here to show you another cool way you can use your wrap. In this case, a very short wrap. I'm going to be using a size 2 wrap. For me, that is 3 sizes smaller than my base size. So you can probably do this with a wrap that is 3 sizes smaller than whatever your base size is. And if you don't know what your base size is, comment so I can come back and help you figure that out when I'm done here, and then you'll know. All right. Also, welcome to anyone watching the replay. Please go ahead and put #replay in the comments so I know you're watching it at a later date and I can come look and see if you needed any help or had any questions or anything. Okay, so this is a double hammock variation. And double hammocks are very popular, very comfortable, supportive carries. And this is one, usually you would need a long wrap for a double hammock carry. You would need at least your base size. Again, base size is just the size that you use for a full length carry. So it's different person to person based on your size. So usually for double hammock carry, you need your base size. This one, I'm using a wrap that is 3 sizes smaller than my base size. So that is a very small wrap. This rainbow wrap is a size 2, which is the smallest size you usually find wraps in. I know you would think that's a 1. 1 is just not available from a lot of brands because you can't do as much with it, I guess, so it's not as popular. So a size 2 wrap, very short, and also really excellent for surprisingly a lot of carries. So I'm excited to show you this. So I'm going to start with quite a short end. If I stand back enough, you can see how long it is. Just a short end so that when I scoop my baby around to my back, this will be long enough to come hang forward down over one of my shoulders. And all the rest of the wrap, the long end, is on the other side. I'm going to do a hip scoot. You can get your baby on your back whichever way you are competent and safe and comfortable with. So I bunch up the bottom of the wrap so it's not hanging down past my baby's feet. I bunch up that wrap under baby's bottom, and now my arm that's holding baby is also holding that wrap there while I scoop my baby around. So I am curious, those of you watching, will you let me know if you hip scoot or if you prefer a different method? And if your hands are full of babies, because I know that happens to people watching my lives a lot, and it's hard to type, you can just hit the like if you like the hip scoot, and give me a heart if you like a different method of getting your baby on your back. So here's how the hip scoot works. I put my baby on my hip, seated on my hip, and scoot her as far back as I can. Then I'm going to take this hand that's in front of me and put it behind me. So I'm holding her with 2 hands, and I can move this one in front of her. I'm going to scoot her up. Woo. Okay. Now for a double hammock carry, you start with one end over your shoulder and one end under your arm. With this variation, this knotless double hammock carry that I'm going to show you, which is super cool, you guys, you're going to love this. I'm going to bring the short end over my shoulder. Oh, thank you, Sarah. She says she loves my hair. Well, that makes me love you. I appreciate the compliment. Okay. All right. Let me just see. Joran says hip scoot or have the toddler climb on from a chair. Yeah, when your baby is big enough, it's really handy to be able to have them just climb on. Or sometimes I would squat down and say, climb on. Then you don't have to pick them up. All right. So I still have my hand holding my baby. I brought the short end of the wrap over my shoulder, and if I hold on to this top red edge on both sides, this is called the top rail of the wrap. It's the top over baby. If I keep that tight, it holds my baby safely against me, so I can use my hands to scoot the rest of the wrap where I want it. And then sometimes if you reach back here, you can put your arm under your baby's legs and sort of press up to push their knees up, and that also widens their squat. So if your baby's old enough to have a wider squat, that can be really simple but easy way to position them. All right, so here we are, ready to do a double hammock carry, but with a really short end. I'm going to bring this straight across my chest. I'm not going to spread it out. And I'm going to bring it back behind me. Get that top edge. I'm bringing it over my baby's leg. So I'm putting my hand over baby's leg here. I get the top edge and I pull it up, trying to make sure I'm in frame, over my baby. So that makes a second pass over baby. And I'm pulling it tight because that pulls this tight, which helps me hold on to this end, this short little stubby end. All right, I'm gonna put this in my teeth and adjust the rest of my wrap around my baby. All right. So this is the basic shape of a double hammock carry, in that you have 2 sling passes over your baby, but now I have 2 short ends. So one thing you can do here, which some of you may already know, it's not the knotless double hammock I'm going to show you, but one thing you can do is tie these 2 ends together right around that chest pass. So you just tie a knot and then you have a done carry. Before you do that, you're going to want to make sure this is tight if it isn't. So for that, I'm going to pull this out to the side because this is coming straight around me, then straight across baby and out to the side. So if I keep pulling this straight in that same direction, that helps get the slack out. Let me just untwist it because that will also help. And the best way to do it is to start with the top rail. Again, on my rainbow wrap, that's this red edge. So I'm going to pull outward. At the same time, I'm going to reach back and get the top rail on this strap and pull upward. And by pulling on both sides at once, that tightens this up real well. So once I do that, I'm going to put this in my teeth and pull all this down to get the slack down underneath my chest pass. Oh. All right. Now, I don't really want to let go of that. This chest pass isn't going to hold it that securely, and I want to keep that slack. So I might just put this in my teeth and then pull on the rest of the wrap. Okay, so what that did is it tightened up the whole rest of the chest pass, so it's not just that red stripe that's nice and tight. And then I can bring this up over my shoulder. Sometimes the second pass over your baby doesn't go all the way to baby's knee, although it's looking pretty good right now. So I like to check that at this point and actually reach around with my other hand, press baby's knee up, and make sure that the purple stripes there do get all the way to my baby's knee, just to secure and reinforce that seat. And now that you've got it tight, if you tie these together here, this is called a shepherd's carry. You know, I don't know why it's called a shepherd's carry. I will have to look into that because I don't remember ever hearing the story behind that. But it is a double hammock variation. Basically, your chest pass isn't spread, although you can do this with spreading the chest pass. It works better if you have a bigger bosom than I. And then it just sort of pulls it up in the middle, so it's like a Wonder Woman effect. It's kind of a pretty effect. So you can have it spread and then just pull it up in the middle to tie the knot around it. But in the back, you've got those 2 sling passes over your baby, just like in a regular double hammock carry. So that's one option. But now I'm going to show you the much less, I hardly ever see people doing this, but it's really, really nice option. It's a knotless finish. So for that, I'm going to pull this one out from my chest belt here. I'm going to tighten it again because when I untied it and pulled this out, there might be some slack in it. Every time you change something about where the wrap is laying or how it goes over or under each other, you might want to check again for slack. So again, I'm going to pull this one up. That was the first pass over baby, so I pull that upward. And this one, I want to pull out to the side. And this is the one that's coming across my chest in a horizontal line parallel to the ground, and then across baby in a horizontal line more or less parallel to the ground. So pulling it horizontally is going to work the best, be the easiest way to get the slack out. And then I'm going to pull it up onto my shoulder. Okay, so now this version, this knotless version, also has a bunched chest pass here. It's not spread. And what you're going to do with each of these is you're going to take them over that chest pass and then up under it to come out the top. That is a knotless tuck, and that is very secure, and it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to do the same with this one. And then I'm going to pull them apart so that they lay comfortably. I'm going to spread my shoulders how I want. I have some slack here in the sort of the bottom half of the wrap, the yellow, green, blue, purple. So that I want to pull that through the tuck by pulling upward rather than down. Get that all tightened. And make sure that red top rail is tightened. Do the same over here. And there, all you have to do at that point is just make sure it's comfortable and secure. And these knotless tucks will hold like nobody's business. It's really good. So the trick with the knotless tuck, so that you know you're doing a tuck that is secure, is that you have to have a weight-bearing piece of wrap. So this chest belt across my chest, that's bearing weight because it's attached to both of these passes that my baby's weight is sitting in. And then you have to take your wrap end over the weight-bearing pass and then up under itself, under the weight-bearing pass. And that's what makes a knotless tuck that is secure and holds. So if you are not sure if you're doing it right, or if you feel like it may not be secure, because some wraps are grippier, some wraps are more slippery, some wraps are thinner, or maybe if you didn't get this tight enough. So if you want to check it to make sure that it is safe, you figure out where it would slip if it was going to slip. So if my baby's sitting in it, it would pull up on this and that would untuck it. So I can actually grab that and pull up, and it's done. It's not going anywhere. You can do that on both sides, and then you'll know that you have a secure tuck. So that is the knotless double hammock variation with a very short wrap. Let me see, I'm missing some comments. Ashley says, one of my favorite carries. Yeah, I love it too. It's so, it's simple and short and fast. I love short, fast carries. At the same time, it's very comfortable, distributes weight across your chest, supportive of a baby. So it's a great combination. Elodie, I can't wait to try this with my short wrap. I can't wait for you too. I hope that you will show me pictures and let me know how it goes and if you need any help. Sonia says, that's so pretty. I know, I think it's very pretty too. So I hope you guys all have a chance to try this. Trish says, love the adjustability of this one. Yeah, a knotless tuck, you can always tighten through the knotless tuck. You can go strand by strand. Again, pay attention to your angle, because remember, this is very snug, which means it doesn't want to slide through easily. But if I pull up, I can get that slack through it. And if I pull down, it's just not going to budge. So yeah, this is a fantastic carry. I hope you'll try. If you like it, give me some love. Let me see some hearts and likes so I know I'm not alone here. And by the way, if you love this beautiful rainbow, which I think is the happiest wrap ever, then I would like to invite you to get in on the pre-order. There is the link to that, so you can get one of your own. The ones I'm ordering right now, they're actually already being woven. They are a slightly different hue than this. So if you look at the pictures at that link, there will be pictures of the actual one, but it's very similar to this. It's the same size and number of stripes, the same shades and the same color. It's just made with different threads, so they don't have exactly the same colors as when this one was made. Christina, I love knotless finishes. I do too. Isn't that a cool thing you can do with wraps? I think partly it's just that I find the whole origami with a piece of fabric and your baby to be a really fun, really cool sort of art form and skill to learn. And the knotless thing definitely feeds right into that interest of mine. It's a super cool thing that you can do with a wrap. And by the way, you guys, when you learn wrapping skills, you can apply this in emergency situations, even when you don't have a woven wrap. You could use a pair of jeans or a long sleeve shirt to wrap a baby if you had to, because once you understand how to do it so that it supports them and it's secure, you can apply it to other stuff, even if they're not the ideal item. Oh, also, if you have a woven wrap and you're on a hike and like some adult sprains their ankle, you now have a way to like wrap them up and hike them out of there to where they can get medical attention. So that is another nice emergency feature of being a wrapper. It's the best. All right. So let me reiterate, this is a size 2 wrap. So it's a double hammock variation with a really short wrap. It's 3 sizes smaller than my base size. So what that means is my base size, size 5, is the size wrap that I use for full length carries. If you don't know what your base size is, I want you to comment so I can come back and help you figure it out so that you know what sizes you can do what carries with. especially if you are looking to buy a wrap and you don't know what size to get. I want to make sure that you know your options, because some people think you need a full length